Hello all, K.M.K here, coming with another Dead by Daylight video. And today we're gonna get a new killer, but first I gotta introduce to you two people. First one is a person that has been on my channel since the first video that we made with the newest killer, the Spirit. This is his first talking role. Give a warm welcome to Falconfx. Hello, Falcon.
Hello.
We will be talking slow for him. He has trouble with his English. It's so that you guys know, and it's just to be fair. So don't start saying you guys are treating him bad. We are not. We are being respectful. The second person that I introduce is Nverm0re, and he will be our meta analyst for this video. So welcome to my channel, Nverm0re.
What's up, jokers? Exactly.
Yeah. And that is Nverm0re. He has been to my channel a few times, and I also have gave him some tips in the past, and now he's on my channel to talk about meta, and that is his specialty. Well, Falconfx specialty is he played survivor and killer, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So let's look at the new killer. And where she is? Oh, there she is. And the new killer look. Well, let's just say she looks very rotten, but sexy as hell. And so what do you guys think of how the plague looks?
Falcon, you want to go first? Well, the plague.
Yeah.
Plague is probably, just looking at her base model with no, customization or anything, probably the best looking killer so far anyway. It's like she just got she's deformed all over the place, but like when you see where her face is still her face, she's like still really pretty.
Yeah, she has nice hair. The clothes are very elegant. She gets this really priestly vibe. It's really beautiful.
And then the fact that she's so tall, and like the way she walks, like she just carries herself like she's the queen of the game. Okay.
Yeah, really Amazonian. She's this Amazonian tall. It's very. It gives her a form of how do you say, power.
Yeah, she's very powerful.
She has a stature. She is like, I am here. Come worship me.
Come at me, bro.
Yeah.
I'm the queen.
Yeah, she's like literally the queen, and that is really good. I wouldn't mind that she has an Alia Queen of the Damned skin.
I'm waiting. I put that on Twitter. Behavior. We need to petition for this. If they give her the Queen of the Damned skin, and they keep her how she is, I will never complain about the Legion ever again.
And we need sunglasses for Afrojack.
Exactly.
So that we can do an Afrojack meme build. Do you have anything to say, Falcon, about how she looks?
Yes.
Okay. What do you think of of how the plague looks?
Nice. It's a nice character.
And how do you like? Do you think she looks like a queen, or does she give a strong feeling to when you look at her?
Um, I think that as she's very tall, it's not she's not good for stealth.
Okay.
Survivor can see you from far,
But
and very difficult to mind the game.
I see. That's true. You are right at that point. Even though she's big and Amazonian, like Nverm0re agrees with me, she is easily to see. Yeah.
Yeah, she like commands. It's a good and a bad thing about her, cause the way she looks, she just demands your attention.
Yeah.
But you also can't sneak up on survivors because you're just this tall queen walking through
She has,
walking through open fields.
she has a lot of bling bling. She has a lot of bling. And that is what I think. I think that how she is a strong female character, like Huntress. But it's, but she's more elegant. She's more elegant,
Yeah.
and she's,
Yes,
and I think she does her role perfectly. She is elegant. She commands respect, but she's not meant for stealth. She's easy to see, and she's very noticeable. And in one way it is good, and the other way it is bad. But I agree with you guys. She has a lot of great things, and what Falcon say about that she's big, easy to see, can't mind game. I agree with him. So points goes to Falcon for pointing that out. Thanks for saying that, Falcon.
thanks.
So I will now read perks, and we're gonna talk about the perks of the killer. The good thing is she has the basic killer statistics like Trapper. And
Thank God.
yeah, so that is a good thing. She has Trapper stats. And I think that we all can agree about that. That's the best thing ever for her. She
Yeah,
needs
you
it.
know, I thought that she was going to be maybe slower because she's just just because of her size and the way she walks.
Like Nurse.
Yeah, but I'm glad that it's regular speed, so you don't have to deal with getting ran away on.
Well, if she
Uh,
if she
at,
had
at least we have got a female character which is not slow.
yeah, that's true. At least she
We,
is. Yeah.
Nurse, Spirit, Hag are all slow killer.
Nurse is slower than Hag and Huntress and Spirit.
Yes, Huntress too. Yes, all slow
Nee,
killer.
Huntress is faster than Nurse. Nurse is like 88% movement speed. I think.
Yeah, I guess because they're like, yo, you can teleport, so you don't need to walk fast.
Yeah.
Behavior logic.
Yeah. Which is good because it is a good balance. Because Nurse is strong, she is also extremely balanced, but a lot of people don't want to see it.
Yeah.
That's the problem. But I think but Falcon, you're a Nurse main, and you
Recently I switched to the Hag,
okay. You're now a Hack main, but
but I really like the Nurse.
yeah, But you agree that Nurse is a balanced killer, strong but balanced.
Yes.
Yeah, and that is what we all can agree upon. So I'm gonna read the perks, and after that we're gonna talk how useful it is or not. Okay, first perk, Corrupt Intervention. Your prayers invoke a dark power that meddles with the survivor's chances of survival. 3 generators located furthest from you are blocked by the entity for 80 seconds at the start of the trials. Survivors cannot repair these generators for the duration. What do you guys think about this perk? Corrupt Intervention.
I don't think it's so. When I first saw it or heard it, I'm like, okay, this is great. But literally after like a minute max into the game, you don't have a perk anymore. At least like I'm not the biggest fan of Hex Ruin, but at least you have the chance for that to last for the whole game.
I see.
But even it's going back, it's not entirely useless because it depends on which generators it picks. Like, say the 3 furthest gens from you are the closest together. It's just like, hey, look, this is your three gen strategy right here, and they can't touch them for the first minute of the game. That's really good.
The trifecta.
Yeah. Like if it's the furthest away from you and you're close to each other, that's amazing because then that means you know which ones, later on, like, all right, well, those will be my 3 generators and they can't be touched for a whole minute.
So basically you can start running around there, forcing them to throw pellets down and make that place your territory.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's a way for you to set up for that, but then at the same time, you might get 3 gens that are completely far away from each other, so it wouldn't really have the same effect. So it's kind of like a it could be both really good or really bad.
Yeah, just like trying to get head or tails on a coin.
Exactly.
And after 80 seconds it is gone and you have nothing. So
yeah, that's my big thing. Like, it's 80 seconds and then you don't have a perk. So if you don't set up for the trifecta later on, then it was just a waste of a perk.
So basically you're saying it is a worse version of an hex totem, but just without a totem.
Yeah, because like even with Hex Ruin, they still have to find the totem, and with this it just stops working.
So yeah, dit is like a worse version of Rune.
Or it's a watered down Ruin.
What do you think, Falcon, about corrupt intervention?
It can be a good perk depending on the killer. I think because as Nevermore said, after just a couple of minutes, you just play with 3 perks.
Yeah.
And if you equipped X Ruin, the survivors can exploit the timer, the initial timer, to cleanse your totem. Then after 2 minutes, you are playing with only 2 perks.
So, if I'm correct, if I hear you guys correctly, basically this is a really bad perk. It has.
It can be good if you want to do the 3 gen strategy at game beginning. So I think Doctor could benefit from this perk. So you can use it instead of X Ruin, so that you can increase survivors madness level because they must be close to you if they want to repair generators.
Then yeah, then I agree with you about that. I agree.
Yeah, it definitely has a place in some builds, but I wouldn't say like,
How many?
yo, it's really good and we need to you need to have this. It's like very
It's
super
n-
situational.
it's not a must. It's not a must-have. And
Yeah.
Falcon.
Definitely not a must-have.
But Falcon, if you have to say which killers would work the best with it, how many of the 15 killers would be good with this perk?
Doctor for sure, and I think every killer which needs time to set up his power at the beginning of the match can benefit from this perk. I think Trapper, Hag, also it can be good for Myers because you can patrol the four nearest generator to stalk the survivors. So you can level up Evil Within
Aha.
without the need to patrol also the farthest generators.
So basically the slow killers, the slow starters, the killers that need to warm up are the best
Yes,
with it.
I think it is more useful for killer which don't have map pressure. Indeed, I wouldn't use this perk on Billy.
Okay, not on Billy. Oh, Nurse is one of the killers that every perk works on, of course.
Yes, Nurse is the only killer on which you can use every build you may think of.
You know what is ironic? You know what is ironic? That Nurse used to be the worst killer in the game, and now she is the best. That is the most ironic part.
It's like I wonder like what changed, but that's another video for another time.
Yeah, well, that is something that we might discuss further on in this video. You never know. Okay, we go to the second perk. The second perk is Infectious Fright. The cries of the unfaithful makes your heart leap. Any survivors that are within the killer's terror radius, while another survivor is put into the dying state, with your basic attack will yell and reveal their location to the killer for 4 seconds. What do you guys think of Infectious Fright?
I was trying to figure out like I think it's good. I don't know if it's like the go-to tracking perk because obviously it wouldn't work well for everybody. But like Myers, I think Falcon brought it up when we were talking yesterday. We were playing yesterday, or somebody said something about Myers. I'm like, yo, that's kind of crazy on Myers. You can go level 3 and just find everybody in the game.
Yeah,
Like, I think that's crazy.
yeah, especially
Yes,
since
just think of unlimited Evil Within 3.
yeah, that's what I mentioned.
It would be a nightmare.
Yeah, and also because Myers can have this gigantic terror radius.
Oh my god, like that's ridiculous by itself. Myers Myers just jumped up a tier.
Yes, if you put distressing with the dead rabbit, you have about 50 meters of terror radius. Pretty pretty impressive.
Yeah,
That's
insane.
crazy.
And not only that, don't forget the doctor.
Yes.
A killer who is notorious for his terror radius. The fact that he is the definitive aura killer.
Yeah, you're not gonna be able to get away from him at all now. because he is an M1 killer, so it'll just M1 you. And now if that yeah, that's crazy because now you won't need to be in the shock mode to find people because you can just down them and then still find them.
Yeah, Doctor.
Al-
Yeah,
Also, there is another point which I think it's interesting. It can be a good perk versus survive with friends group,
yeah,
which typically are very altruist and always a friend with a flashlight.
yeah,
When he is ready to save the survivor you captured, now with this perk, flashlight save can be really difficult.
yeah. That is what I want to say. It's good for the flashlight assholes, the flashlight jerks. To be honest, it's you see survive with friends, survive with friends. You see like 4 Claudettes with 2 with a flashlight, and I would say that this perk would be a good counter. Get this perk combined with Franklin the Mice, and I think you gotta.
Yes, of course.
Yeah,
With Franklin demise would be wonderful.
yeah. Because dit is een good tracking perk, but it's only weak early game. Early game this perk is really weak, but late game this perk becomes stronger. Because the more gens are being done. So the survivors will be closer together.
Yeah. With the 3-gen strategy, I think it would be a very strong perk.
Yeah, especially with basement builds for sleepovers from hell.
Yeah, and I was like kind of against it or on the fence before, but like just on certain killers or in certain playstyles, it's gonna be like stupid good. Like why? They're probably gonna nerf this. They're gonna do something to it because it can be ridiculous in the wrong hands or in evil hands of killer mains everywhere.
Yeah. Well, of course nurse benefits from it, no doubt about it. I think Freddy would be good with it.
It doesn't work with Legion.
Yeah, but Legion is trash. That is his thing. That is Legion gimmick. He's trash. He can't do anything about it. The other killers bully Legion. They say you can't kill. We can. That is Legion.
Word.
Yeah. Because I think Falcon agree. Legion is a killer that you don't want any killer to be.
Yes.
Correct, Falcon?
I didn't understand clearly.
Legion is the killer that other killers you not have to be. Legion is the killer you don't want other killers to be like.
What is leaky? I don't understand
the Legion.
The Legion with the frenzy and the
frenzy.
The last killer that released.
The weakest killer in game.
Legion.
Yeah. You don't want the killers to be like Legion.
Of course not. I still don't know if Freddy or Legion which one is worse.
Freddy can kill. Legion can't.
Legion is good only with very rare add-ons, and if you do the blood dance or that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But still you lose a lot of time, so
yeah.
no, just no.
Legion.
Yeah, I mean,
Legion
at
is,
least
yeah.
At least with Freddy, right? At
Yeah,
least with Freddy, you have to go do something. Like if you don't have self heal or a med kit, you have to go find a generator that's not completed and hope you get a skill check to wake up. With
yeah,
the Legion, you literally just go around a corner and press M1 and then you're good.
true. That's Legion. That's Legion. Literally, you hit the nail on the head.
That's the problem. It's like this would be really good if anybody cared that they had deep wound,
Yeah,
but you can just stop for 2 seconds, M1, and go back to what you were doing. It
yeah,
doesn't
but
do anything.
Legion is like the bad version of the nurse. And it's funny because Legion and nurse are exactly the same. They are
Hmm.
exactly the same. They are exactly the same killer. It's just Legion is an extremely bad version of her, and that's sad. So we all agree that infectious fright is a good perk.
Yeah, definitely.
You agree?
Yes,
All?
maybe the best of three.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's it's basic.
Because I like to say that I will always prefer perks which helps you throughout the whole the match.
Yeah, and that those are the
So
important
I,
perks.
so I, in general, I don't like perks which works only on the beginning or the end of the match.
Yep.
Uh,
So better a perk which helps you during all the match.
that is, yeah, that's true. You need a perk that can help you non-stop, and that's again a good point that you make. Do,
Yes, and just X-Ruin, I think it is a perk I would like to not to use, but still it is needed if you don't want to get rushed.
yeah, and it is also
Sadly, very sadly.
yeah, dit is also for killers that don't have ruin to go into tunnel lane camping and the three
Yes,
generate straight away.
there are some games in which you need to camp and tunnel in order to win.
Yeah, like the player with the flashlight who knows how to loop and such. You need to camp him to make sure that he can't ruin your game, right?
Yes, and you have to pray that the team is altruist and they don't remain on the generator to repair them.
Yeah.
So if the team is altruist, even if you camp, one or two survivors can try to save their friend,
Mm.
and in that case, I think that camping is a good strategy.
Especially,
Otherwise, if the group if the group is just want to win, they will continue repairing the gen even if their friend is getting camped by you. So in that case, you will lose the match.
yeah, if survivors want to win, they want to win. Of course, don't forget if you get a Claudette, you must camp her.
Yes.
Claudette must be camped, of course, right?
Especially if it's a legacy prestige Claudette.
Yeah, hard to see, eh? She's hard to see. She has to be camped. We are not racist, people. We are not racist, but Claudette is notorious for being
But
stealthy.
yes, I think that YouTuber Ocido,
Yeah,
maybe this legend was started by him. maybe.
It is started
Because
playing.
because he always plays Claudette and always tries to bullify the killers.
Yeah, the body. Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe this is just a legend, uh, but now we all know that Claudettes can be really toxic.
Yeah,
Uh,
Claudette
when
is.
you
Yeah?
when your character can blend into a rock, there's a problem. So you gotta get killed first.
Yeah, you have to kill her first. That is the thing. It is, and then they ask why you tunnel me or why you camp me, and then you say, well, you're Claudette. You have to die. Then they call you racist. I've been reported for being a racist for camping Claudette. And to be honest, I don't have a problem with her being black or as such. I don't have a problem with that. The problem is, for me, she's hard to see. And I am not in the mood to walk around for 20 minutes to find one stupid Claudette who is sitting in the corner masturbating and thinking by herself, the kid can't find me, kid can't find me, ha 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 ha. That is Claudette. And I mean, it's also she has a built-in stealth mode, and I think Nverm0re is proud about that also, because he's like, well, I also got built-in stealth now, because thanks to Claudette, he discovered that. But still, it is annoying. Even he hates Claudette. Right?
Yes, and I think there can be other survivors which can be toxic. For example, I wouldn't like in my lobby a pink dressed white, for example.
Oh my god, right.
Or maybe in general I don't like legacy prestige characters in general.
Yeah.
But there are also others cosmetics which
Better than.
are toxic, are inherently toxic in my opinion.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is true. It is. That's also that's the thing that you mentioned, and but the thing is, Claudette is like the most played character of all. It's like the
Yes,
most.
maybe since she's built in the game, you don't pay for Claudette.
Yeah, and she starts with one of the best perks, self-care.
Yes.
So infectious fright would help against people that like to play toxic Claudette.
Even if I don't consider self-care the most toxic perk in the game.
I'm not saying,
There are worse perks in my opinion.
but it is a strong perk. It's a
Yeah,
strong perk.
now we got decisive strike nerfed, but I still think that adrenaline should get a nerf as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Because 4 adrenalines are overpowered.
Yeah. Especially since
And
they don't have.
can really just imagine a game in which you injured all the survivors and they are still all alive and at the end of the match. Then the last generators is completed and all four survivors instantly get healed and sprint for 5 seconds, if I remember correctly. So adrenaline should get a nerf as soon as possible. Possibly one of the strongest perk the survivors have, along with the decisive strike.
I totally agree with you. And what do you think, Nverm0re? What do you think?
About adrenaline?
Yeah? What Falcon said.
I don't like any perks that make them run faster, but I do agree with that because adrenaline is one of those things where it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I got you. No, you don't. Adrenaline, like, come on, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought you were a bit silent because of that. I said that you found it cool that you discovered that you built in stealth. I thought you were blending in with the backgrounds because I didn't hear you.
No, I got sidetracked by something somebody sent me. That was my bad.
Well, it's pretty impressive. It's pretty impressive. I was like, did he now pull a cloud at us? Is he testing?
I blended into a rock.
Is he testing his stealth ability? But I totally agree with Falcon about adrenaline, especially since they nerfed the counter to adrenaline. That is, no one escapes death, which was that was the built-in counter to adrenaline.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So I agree with you.
Even if I read on several forum discussions that Survivor mains says that decisive strike was the counter to Noed, but I think it is not correct because adrenaline is the real counter to Noed.
Yeah, and Noed is the counter to adrenaline.
Yeah, they kind of work to balance each other out essentially.
Yeah, they fight against each other. Noed and adrenaline are counters to each other. They are yin and yang. They are the yin and yang perks. The only thing is, no one escapes death can be stopped, and adrenaline not.
Yeah, and remember that survivors can cleanse all your totems in order for Noid not to get activated, but the killer can't do nothing for preventing adrenaline.
Yep.
Yeah, that is a talk for the next server. I think that we gonna talk about those perks.
Word.
Yeah, because because I think that is what we can talk about hours about, just adrenaline and no one escaped death, which would be nice, to be honest. Would be a nice talk, but to go back to infectious fright, I would say good perk for in reserve. So we all agree it is a good perk.
Yep.
Infectious fright, good perk. Okay, now we go to the last one, the last perk. And that is Dark Devotion. The display of your powers create a whirlwind of panic that spread throughout the land. You become obsessed with one survivor. Hitting the obsession with your basic attack causes the obsession to emit a 32 meters terror radius for 20 seconds. During that time, your terror radius is reduced to 0. This effect can only be triggered once every minute. The obsession here's the terror radius they emit for the duration. The killer can only be obsessed with one survivor at a time. That is the normal text. What do you guys think about Dark Devotion?
I would have to there's things I want to see how it actually works, because if it just when it says carry your terror radius, so does that mean you get the effects too of the terror radius that it's carrying? You know what I mean?
It's confusing.
Because it's all right, let's go back to Legion, because I'm a Legion main and I hate myself, right? So if so if I'm Legion and I make you my devotion, right?
Yeah.
Let's just, for the purpose of this example, devotion doesn't have a time limit because the Legion. But anyway, so I hit you. You're in my devotion now. You have my terror radius. So if I hit one of your teammates in frenzy mode, does that mean that my tracking, stem starts from where you are, or does it still count from where I am because you have my terror radius.
That's a good question. That's a really
Yeah,
good
like that.
question.
Yeah,
Expect.
stuff like that is the only thing that I can really think of because otherwise it's only good for buying yourself 20 seconds of stealth, which really isn't a lot.
Yeah, I think dit is. I also think this is the only perk that doesn't work with the nurse.
Yeah, like we found the perk that doesn't work with the nurse.
Falcon, do you agree?
Um,
Dark
uh,
Devotion don't work with
yes,
nurse.
but in my opinion, the duration of 20 seconds is really short. And if you have a killer without good mobility,
Yeah.
I don't think this perk is. I don't know how this perk could help you. Since if you keep chasing your obsession, it means that you are close to the obsession. So the effect of terror radius is practically is basically the same.
Yeah, basic,
You
basic.
in order to use this perk, you must hit the obsession and then let him go.
I see.
Otherwise, there is no point in using Dark Devotion if you keep chasing the obsession.
And that is a bad thing, to be honest, because you lose your kill. You can lose your kill for a gamble.
Yes, and I think that 20 seconds are not enough to find another survivor and chase him. It's too short.
So I think if one way they could make this actually be useful is if because it only works on a regular hit, right?
Yeah.
That's how you start it. They should make it so that it lasts until you hit somebody again.
Yeah. At
Maybe
least.
I don't know. Maybe 1 minute. Maybe could be good.
Yeah,
But
that is.
not 20 seconds, too short. And if you use it in combo with perks which works in the terror radius, I'm thinking of unnerving presence or
Call.
colorophobia
Yep.
and so on. The obsession can't prevent the effect of these perks, but only for 20 seconds. So if he uses if he wants to use self-care, for example, he could just wait for the 20 seconds timer to expire, and then he could heal without colorophobia effect, for example. So
Right.
so too short timer, too short.
Yeah. Even if it if it was because they do it on like stages or levels. Like if level 3 was like a whole minute, I think that would be worth even trying to use the effect. And then that also depends on if you can actually use different perks that affect your terror radius like with that as well. Because if it's just all you do is give your obsession the ability to make the other survivors hear your heartbeat, then it's not even good to begin with.
And we also don't know if perks which affects the terror radius works with the Dark Devotion. So we don't know if distressing or monitoring abuse modified the terror radius of Dark Devotion. Still, we don't know this.
Yeah, so there's a lot to like try with this perk and different things to see if they even interact. Because it's very interesting, but I just feel like um, I feel like all right. So if the terror radius effects do work with it, like chlorophobia and unnerving and stuff like that, they're going to turn around and then put it into the game so that it doesn't work. Like when they gave us, oh, you can vault over pallets now. Okay, does does bamboozle work with this? No, but it should. Well, it doesn't now because we changed the wording, so it doesn't work anymore. Okay.
Yeah, that is true. That's all true what you guys say.
Yeah, so it's just like
I think killers with a huge terror radius benefit more from Dark Devotion, because I just think if you have a killer with a short with a small terror radius, maybe tier 1 Myers, for example, terror radius is also so small that what how can I say it?
It doesn't exist.
So because you are you are a stealth killer,
Yeah.
for example, tier 1 Myers, there is no point in swapping your terror radius with the obsession,
Yeah.
because it's so short, it's so small terror radius. I don't think it would be useful, but for doctor with distressing, maybe it could be very strong, I think, or maybe also Myers with distressing and dead rabbit, for example. That
Yeah.
could be very disorienting for survivors, because you have about 50 meters terror radius.
Basically, this perk is a risk and reward perk. Correct.
Yes, but they should increase the timer, in my opinion.
But
We need at least 1 minute, at least.
at least 1 minute.
even if it's level 3, that would be fine.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, to be honest, I'm gonna be honest. I like risk and reward type of characters that allows you to take risks and rewards. In League of Legends, you had characters like that, and you had in some of the other games that I play, you have characters that also are risk and reward. Like you got one character that loses all his defense, but he gets a lot of attack. But if he gets hit by a boss, then you can easily lose like 20,000 to 100,000 HP. If
Okay.
they. But in this case, it's a risk and reward perk, but it's more risk, but no reward.
Yeah, now that I'm reading this more, because it doesn't say. So it doesn't say that the obsession emits your terror radius. It says a terror radius. So you are giving them their own terror radius.
Yep.
And they can hear it, and I'm assuming that the survivors can hear it. So like I don't even know what I don't know.
This is a risk and no reward perk, to be honest.
Like I don't see the purpose of it, because like if you hit your obsession, they can see you, so it's not like you can trick them into thinking that you're closer than you are, because they can see where you are.
And then don't forget Survive with Friends.
Yeah, if you're playing against Survive with Friends, this is like the most pointless thing.
Yes, correct. And this perk could be easily countered by Survive with Friends group. Just imagine the obsession gets terror radius, and immediately he warns his friends.
Exactly.
So we have a lot of perk in this game which become trash by which Survive with Friends makes trash. Just think of Knockout, for example.
Yep.
Completely useless
Third
against
seal.
Survive with Friends.
Third seal.
Yep.
Hex the third seal.
Yes, also, yes, aura blindness perks
Useless.
are useless against Survive with Friends group. I tried it many times.
In other words, let's just say this is a risk and reward perk, but it's mostly risk but no reward. There is no reward in using this perk. It will just keep failing, it will not do anything. This is basically the most useless perk in the game at the moment.
Yep.
Yes, I would try it only on Doctor, but only for troll builds, not for everyday use.
So you want to go Ninja Doctor?
Yeah, I could see that.
I could see Monto using that for Ninja Dog. But it's overall it is just really a bad perk. It's supposed to be risk and reward. I'm for risk and reward, but the reward has to be good.
Right.
And that is this perk not. This perk has no reward. Why would I, as a killer, use this when I know that the enemy is Survive with Friends? What do I gain for doing this? I gain nothing. I lose my terror radius, that's all.
Exactly.
I have nothing, after that I have nothing. Once I kill my obsession. And then? What does it do then? Nothing. It's like giving an homeless person food. You give the homeless person a piece of bread, but you give it to him. But then all of a sudden you remember, oh my god, this is my own piece of bread. So you take away the bread from the homeless person. So what is the point? The only thing that you get is a pissed off homeless person that wants to beat the shit out of you for giving him bread that he wants to eat while he's hungry, and that is this perk. This perk is like this. The survivor is the homeless person. You are the rich person that needs the bread for his family, and you give away your bread to the survivor, and then the survivor will lose it because then you have to take it back again. And it does nothing. You don't make any important plays. It is what should I say? It is garbage. Dark Devotion, complete trash. You guys agree?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Let's hope they will improve it after the PTB.
we are
Hope
talking
so.
we are talking about the people that nerfed Freddy on a week after his release. That is what we are talking about. We are talking about behavior. With Matthew, we did a pretty good job so far, code.
Yes.
Ochido, let me say this: Ochido is a pedophile and an idiot and whatever, and he lives like a monkey that is in his mating season. But he is right on point about the developers and Matthew code. Let's just say that they do a pretty good job so far in messing things up. This one is a pretty good job so far in that they make a really good killer now. Too bad they made one perk that's completely useless, and I don't understand the idea behind it.
Yep.
So we now go into kill your friends, and then we're gonna discuss.
Okay.
And then we're gonna discuss builds and what we could see being used in the future. And after that, we go into the game, test the perks out, and we're gonna show what the killer can do. Of course, we will use a few other perks that we could not show in an earlier video, and I think Falcon know which perks I talk about. And those are the perks of Johan Jefferson. You know, the big survivor.
Oh, Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff Johansson.